Hello and welcome back once again to the massive YouTube Iceberg. We're going to be continuing on with Tier 5 on this video. Before we begin though, a little self-plug. I now have a Ko-fi where you can give me $3 and I'll give you a little shout out at the end of the next video. I don't have a Patreon yet, and even if I did, I'm not really sure what I'd put on there, so this is the only real way to support my content monetarily speaking, as you can't actually monetize YouTube videos if you have less than 1,000 subscribers because of the adpocalypse bullshit I was talking about in the earlier parts. Anyways, I'll stop the shilling and get on with some friggin' weird YouTube videos. PHR 2771 educational video is a video uploaded by Auspicio Omnium in 2014. I believe what it's going for is that this is a video explaining things tenants should know before renting an apartment, although the apartment itself seems to have some strange, unsettling stuff going on with it. There's strange things like one of the rooms having an animal with lots of fur that can't breathe, skin covering one of the walls, and a soft room that you can stay in for as long as you like, but no one can enter if you're in there. There's also a suicide room that you're not allowed to enter for any purpose, which, I mean, I think I can hazard a guess as to why not. The video was fairly popular as the style of editing and music was quite unique for a video like this. The basic explanation for its creation is that this was part of an ARG about some kind of post-apocalyptic society that's infested with these anomalies that prevent people from leading normal lives. Vince Collins is an animator and filmmaker who has been active since 1973 and was born in 1944, known for his trippy, psychedelic style of experimental animated short films. Perhaps his most famous work is 1982's Malice in Wonderland, which he uploaded to YouTube in 2009. As you might be able to guess from the title, it's a retelling, if you can call it that, of the classic fairy tale Alice in Wonderland. I'm kind of at a loss for how to describe this one, although I don't really even think this is a film that's meant to be understood. Rather annoyingly, the term drug trip gets thrown around a lot when talking about strange YouTube videos, especially animations, but honestly I can't think of a better way to describe this. It's quite, vaginal to describe it with a single adjective, as it's like a constant barrage of just pussy in your face. Vince Collins is also well known for his other shorts like Euphoria and Life is Flashing Before Your Eyes, and despite being like 70 or 80 years old, still animates new things and posts them on his YouTube channel, usually being in 3D in contrast to his 2D animations from the 70s and 80s. It's kind of insane that this is the same guy still producing animations. Still Life is a 9-minute short film directed by... That's not pronounced John Nuts. It was posted to YouTube as far back as 2006, and it's heavily inspired by the Twilight Zone. It features a driver who's apparently addicted to pills and caffeine, and while driving into a town, he accidentally runs someone over, or rather something. As it turns out, the entire town is populated by these mannequins, and strangely enough, they move around like actual people, but only when he looks the other way. Kinda like the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, or like Super Hot, the game, I guess. Although Still Life actually predates both of those things. The short is pretty well shot, has great atmosphere, and a really good twist that I'd rather not spoil. Just go watch it. Omega Mart is a real-world interactive art installation in Las Vegas, created by the company Meow Wolf, first opened in 2021. It presents itself as a mock supermarket that has weird fake products in it, like cruelty-free vegan goat pus, or dehydrated water, or lonely hiker flavored wolf food. Omega Mart even has its own ARG going on, where players will piece together parts of a narrative. However, unlike other ARGs, it does not take place on the internet, but rather within the walls of the supermarket itself. Obviously that stuff doesn't really have anything to do with YouTube, however what it does is the various commercials for the exhibit that have been re-uploaded countless times to YouTube, complete with a similar surreal aesthetic and sense of humor. Some people think they're pretty unsettling and stuff like that, seeming like something from an alternate dimension, which to be fair is probably the aesthetic they're going for. However, outside the occasional body horror, I just find these videos funny more than anything. This video that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce was uploaded by Volga Video in 2013. It's Indian and seemingly features people doing strange dancing in animal costumes, and that's pretty much it. It's an excerpt from the 1985 film Adavi Dunga, directed by K. Raghavendra Rao, which I would say is a Bollywood film, although that's technically not correct since Bollywood refers to Hindi movies and this film is in a different Indian language, Telugu. So this is technically a Tollywood film. No, that's not a dumb joke I just came up with, that's an actual term. Lumpy Touch is an animator on YouTube who's most well known for his multiple series that parody popular franchises like Breaking Bad, Undertale/Deltarune, Sonic the Hedgehog, and most notably Garfield. These will more often than not focus on characters becoming edgier and twisted versions of themselves, with the genre being for the most part comedy horror. Me personally, I'm not really a fan of the whole Garfield thing, just never really was that funny to me. Although, I do of course have to respect how ridiculously talented Lumpy Touch is at pixel art, having quite a distinctive style. I Am a Building is a video uploaded by Black 20 Studios as part of their series Net_Work, which is a comedy series that takes place in a startup company called Black 20 Studios that produces internet comedy videos. It's kinda meta, bro. This video specifically features two co-workers getting a bite to eat at a park, and one of them reveals he brought him here because every day at 2 p.m. something weird happens. 2 p.m. comes, and then two buildings grow faces and begin singing about how they shouldn't be racist, despite neither of the guys doing anything racist. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Orphic Orchestra is a music group that produces jazz music, and in 2012 they released a music video of their song Skeletons Having Sex on a Tin Roof from their album Kebab Disco. It features one of the members dancing and smiling while in front of a green screen, and I regret to inform you all that it doesn't actually feature any sexual intercourse between skeletons, nor does it even include any tin roofs. What a fucking ripoff. Katie's Scary Face is a silent, 9-second long video where a woman, presumably named Katie, makes a scary face, with the help of video editing from the uploader, Kenny W. It was uploaded in 2007 and has since garnered over 6 million views. There's also another video called Kenny's Scary Face, which is basically the same thing, by the same person, uploaded 3 days earlier. Coco Freakbean is a, to my knowledge, anonymous animator who sometimes works with Adult Swim as part of several bumps and their off-the-air series, and has also animated music videos for several music artists like Marshmello. However, they mainly have a personal YouTube channel where they upload their unadulterated and eye-striking animations that I think I'd have a stroke trying to analyze the meaning of. They're like eye candy, but also eye poison at the same time. Sometimes I just look at these and I'm like, how do you even come up with the idea for this and then make it? Coco Freakbean's original channel seems to have been taken down at some point, but their uploads still exist re-uploaded to their second channel, Coco Freakbean 2 Electric Boogaloo. Shed 17 is a half-hour-long animated parody of Thomas the Tank Engine created by Paul's Vids and uploaded to YouTube in 2015. It's quite notorious for being dark, edgy, gory, and disturbing, focusing on the human experimentation and torture it would take to create a living train with a face. It obviously features heavy elements of body horror and stuff like that, but honestly, I can't even take it seriously. I get that it's trying to take itself seriously, but even looking beyond the fact that it's a fucking Thomas the Tank Engine creepypasta, the animation is also a bit silly looking. Shed 17 also got a sequel a few years later called Project G1, which expands off the plot of the original. Bobek is a video uploaded by user Vivage in 2007. It's an animation of a guy shitting so hard that he explodes. The video was apparently originally created by Tom Winkler on his site duty.com, and it was a popular GIF in the late 1990s and early 2000s, and I guess the uploader just dubbed it over. Then, in 2016, he re-uploaded it to YouTube in glorious HD and widescreen, with an official... Do you really care about this? Like, the lore of the video of the guy pooping so hard he explodes? What am I even doing? Spanish SpongeBob MS Paint videos is another entry that's pretty self-explanatory, simply being videos about SpongeBob made in MS Paint in Spanish. This entry kind of confuses me, because while there are tons of poorly made SpongeBob parodies in MS Paint, including ones that are in Spanish, it's not even close to limited to the Spanish-speaking side of YouTube, as a lot of them are in English. Looking up the simple search term Spanish SpongeBob MS Paint videos leads us to this video by Mimes Yay. Although, honestly, I don't think that's the original uploader, but I couldn't find the actual one. There's a whole playlist of these poorly made SpongeBob parodies made in MS Paint, although arguably the most iconic one might have to be SpongeBob's Revenge 2, where SpongeBob plays the guitar before getting into a shootout with Squidward and Patrick. Truly iconic. Channel hijackings are something that has happened on YouTube countless times. I'm sure I really don't have to explain what this one is to you guys, literally just being when a channel on YouTube gets hijacked by some form of a hack. For example, someone recently, a lot of people reported that YouTube made them subscribe to this weird Tesla channel that had fake live streams by Elon Musk about cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. In reality, these accounts were channels that they were already subscribed to, but they simply got hacked in order to fish viewers to buy into their crypto scams. And this is not limited to casual viewers of the site, or even small content creators. Major YouTubers like Linus Tech Tips fell victim to the hijacking. This is far from the first time this has happened too, as if you remember all the way back in Tier 3, a group known as Armine would hack the channels of major YouTubers like Markiplier and Leafy is Here in 2016. There will also be some other hacking events later on in this Iceberg that are even older than that. Account hacking is something that happens pretty much everywhere, but it's still pretty crazy that it can even happen to large YouTubers. Don't click on suspicious links, kids. Presenting Oscar, the Modular Body is a video uploaded by Cornelis Vlasman in 2016 as part of an online science fiction story. It's about the creation of Oscar, who is this fleshy creature that's supposedly a living thing given the way it moves, and apparently its parts could be rearranged into different formations to form new organisms. While it initially presented itself as real, featuring pretty convincing CGI or practical effects or whatever the hell that is, digging into the site at links in the description shows you pretty clearly that it's just a work of fiction. Still pretty freaky though, kinda reminds me of those homunculus videos I was talking about a couple parts ago. Japanese Ghost, the Haunted Hospital was a video that was uploaded to YouTube in 2009. It starts with a warning that the images in the following film have driven people to suicide. It then features Japanese urban explorers as they enter a supposedly haunted abandoned hospital. They go inside and encounter some strange events. One of the reporters apparently went insane after seeing one of the images they took there. It's obviously not real, but pretty effective horror, scaring many people for its realistic atmosphere. Apparently, according to the uploader, this video is actually from a series of found footage horror mockumentaries from Japan called Hoto Niata Noroi no Video. This video in particular being just one episode of over 90. Pedro Ruiz III was a YouTuber who I believe was a part of La Mona Lisa, a YouTube channel ran by his girlfriend, Mona Lisa Perez. Pedro was well known on the channel for loving to produce videos where he does daredevil stunts. This came to a point in 2018 when on a new channel called Damn It Boy, they filmed their most dangerous stunt yet. While usually the stunts they did were non-violent, this one would involve Pedro being shot by his girlfriend in the chest from like 1 foot away with only a hardcover encyclopedia to protect himself, which apparently, believe it or not, was his idea. Obviously the stunt went about as you'd expect, and Pedro died that day from the gunshot wound. Mona Lisa would then plead guilty to a charge of second-degree manslaughter and was forced to spend 180 days in jail with 10 years of supervised probation. Apparently, they filmed the stunt in front of a crowd of about 30 people, including their 3-year-old daughter. While the actual footage of the shot has never been released to the public, earning it a page on the Lost Media Wiki, kinda seems in poor taste, but whatever. What you're viewing right now is the rest of the 20-minute video, where they explain what's about to happen and prepare. And like, it's very, very obvious that they seem incredibly reluctant and nervous about what they're about to do, almost as if they're fully aware that a book cannot stop a bullet fired 1 foot away from them, and yet they're doing it anyways for some reason. Following the death, some gun YouTubers made videos explaining what happens when you shoot a book with a bullet, as if the news of Ruiz's death didn't make it abundantly clear. If you've been keeping up with this Iceberg series, or you just have a generally extensive knowledge of creepy internet videos, you're probably familiar with the hanging munchkin from Wizard of Oz, a hoax that purported that there was a munchkin hanging himself in the background of the original release of the film. We already went over that, so go watch Tier 4 Part 1 if you're interested.
However, on April 24th, 2016, a rogue element was added to the debacle. YouTube user Hi This Is Derek237 uploaded the video titled Hanging Munchkin in the Wizard of Oz, original VHS proof. In the video, he would debunk the myth, recording his copy of the movie that he confirmed was the original release that everyone pushed rumors about. He plays the scene and lo and behold, the Munchkin isn't there, putting rest to the infamous rumor. But hey man, what's that? Randomly, this weird, creepy face appears halfway through the recording, and Derek doesn't even seem to acknowledge it, only focusing on the fact that there's no Munchkin. So, what's the deal behind the face? Well, commenters figured out that the face is from an unreleased trailer for The Exorcist. But why is it there? Well, there are two leading theories, one being that Derek intentionally put it there in order to get attention, and the other being that The Exorcist trailer was accidentally recorded over the Oz tape. I'm leaning more towards the first one though, because, like, for one, Derek not acknowledging it seems like it's pretty intentional, and two, the trailer was, again, unreleased. I still really like this video though, as the way he just casually ignores the fucking ghost face that shows up out of nowhere is really funny to me.
Watermelon, A Cautionary Tale is an animated short film from Kei-Fei Lee and Connie Chun-hee from the Ringling College of Art and Design. It was uploaded in 2019 and features a young boy who's about to bite into a watermelon when his mom tells him to not eat the seeds or else a watermelon will grow inside him. Ignoring her, he eats a slice whole, and throughout the rest of the short, his body becomes more and more like a melon, with roots growing out of his nose and ears, and then his stomach becomes round. And eventually he hits the ground hard enough and splats into a bunch of different pieces. And then a bunch of kids eat the watermelon pieces. You might have seen this posted around sped up set to Unravel from Tokyo Ghoul, but yeah, this is the origin of that meme. The Cat with Hands is a horror short film released in 2001 and directed by Robert Morgan. It tells the story of a mythical cat with human hands instead of paws that lives in the bottom of a well. It has a pretty unique style, as part of it is shot in live action, while the other part is an interesting stop-motion style. The story was something the filmmaker got from a dream his sister had, and using that, he produced this almost dreamlike atmosphere for the film. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it has a twist that was really good. Go check it out, it's 3.5 minutes long and is up on YouTube. Jay Swingler is a YouTuber who's pretty popular, running a channel with over 5 million subscribers called TGF Bro. On the channel, Jay and his friend Rommel Henry upload videos where they do things like challenges, pranks, and most notably, stunts in a similar manner to something like Jackass. Over the years, he had encased himself in several substances like gelatin and expanding foam. However, this came to a point in 2017 when he had the bright idea of encasing his head in cement. He took an unplugged microwave and filled it to the brim with quick-dry cement, put a plastic bag over his head, with a breathing tube of course, and shoved his head straight in. Apparently though, he left his head stuck in the microwave for far too long, as quick-dry cement did what quick-dry cement does best: dried quickly. According to a tweet from his local fire department, the firefighters were seriously unimpressed as they needed 5 whole firefighters to stay at his house for an hour trying to get him free, when they probably could have been using that time to help someone who was actually in need of it. My Scary Pokemon Blue Story is a series of creepypasta videos created by BlameTruth, the Codfather, who would usually upload Call of Duty videos, although this was obviously a bit different from his normal content. They were uploaded in 2011 and 2012 and featured the classic trope of a haunted video game, more specifically a Pokemon Blue cartridge that would apparently make him experience paranormal activity within his home. The series is 12 videos long and would later evolve into a larger series called The Recordings, which was an ARG, which had BlameTruth stalked by a cult, who also ran a YouTube channel, which featured creepy imagery and a channel name that was a bunch of letters and numbers. Demon-Possessed Singing Trout was a video uploaded by Nisk5298 in 2008 and is exactly what it sounds like. The batteries died on one of those singing fish things, and the result is that it sounds absolutely demonic as a result. Just take a listen. Surprisingly enough, this is far from the only video like this on YouTube, and the toy that sounds demonic when it's on low battery is almost a genre unto itself on the site. I wouldn't be surprised that that's where all the evil Elmo shit spawned from. Venus Angelic is a YouTuber from Switzerland who joined and started making content in 2010 when she was only 13, and her content mainly revolves around fashion and beauty vlogs. Her first video that gained her popularity was one titled How to Look Like a Doll, released in 2012, and since that point she would keep making herself look and act more doll-like and childish. This is thought to not be because of Venus's own volition, but rather her overbearing mother's obsession with melding her into what she wanted her to be. She would be ridiculously overprotective and would raise her as a Japanese person, despite being white. Her mother would force her to act in these childish ways in front of a camera, and she learned not to question it and do what her mom says. She would later get into a relationship with a Japanese man, which her mother obsessively tried to break up, leading Venus to run away from home and flee the country to Japan, which she revealed in a video in 2016. In the same video, Venus reveals that her mother was far more controlling than initially thought, threatening to take her own life whenever she didn't comply with something. After she released this video, her mother would repeatedly keep trying to push misinformation in an effort to destroy her daughter's career, which is something she does online even to this day. To make matters worse, her mental health would only deteriorate in this time, as in 2016, she would travel to Korea to undergo an illegal life-threatening surgery to reduce her weight, putting her far below what's healthy. Her husband she had moved away with was also allegedly very abusive, being an obsessed fan who is a fair bit older than her. She also now has an OnlyFans, which obviously isn't inherently bad, but given her history, people are a bit suspicious of the whole thing. All in all, Venus Angelic has had a fucking terrible life. Born with Three Mouths is a video uploaded to YouTube in 2010 by Alva Bernadine. Basically, it's just footage of her face with the eyes edited to be second and third mouths. The video is actually the first in a series of 4 videos, each having different women that all have 3 mouths. It's obviously yet another art project. Video dating tape is actually the word-for-word name of 2 entirely different weird YouTube videos that are both pretty popular, so I'm not really sure which one this Iceberg is referring to. The first one is an animated short produced by David Firth of Salad Fingers fame. It's a fairly typical David Firth short about a 39-year young man named Jake, who talks rather childishly about himself in the form of one of those dating advertisement things. And also how he goes to the park sometimes and that there's a pedo there. The other video dating tape was a video uploaded in March of 2017 by a user named Balaclava Girl 95 that, according to the description, is something they found in a VCR they got at a boot sale. This one is about a man named Tony, who is a 36-year-old entrepreneur businessman who's looking for someone to share the rest of their life with him, so long as they don't mind disappearing for long periods of time. However, as is shown, he keeps fucking up the take, seemingly getting angrier and angrier at both himself and someone in the background who sounds like they're crying and struggling. The obvious narrative that the video is trying to portray is that Tony is a serial kidnapper using dating tapes to get the age and location of women in order to, kidnap them. The video is fake, and the man, as Scare Theater pointed out in his video, is none other than Darren Stoneham, a British actor. Still though, pretty good acting. Gacha tubers, to my surprise, don't actually refer to people who generally play gacha games, but specifically the game Gacha Life, which is this mobile anime dress-up type game where players can customize how their characters look, I guess. I'm not gonna pretend to know exactly how this game works, but a community sprung from it that creates videos with their Gacha Life characters. Some users use Gacha Life as a method of telling a story in a somewhat similar fashion to Go Animate, I guess. Others use them as a Sona of sorts to make rant videos, others use it to make music videos, etc, etc. The game is very popular with children, and as such, many of the most popular gacha tubers are children, and as time has proven again and again and again and again and again, large communities of primarily children are quite vulnerable to creepy adults. Many children have been groomed by users of the game, and even the game itself seems to facilitate this, having been criticized for things like letting users put on lingerie on their characters, and having dedicated 18+ chat rooms that any user can access. Trying to look through this community's inner workings just kind of makes me feel old. Who's Hungry is a short animated student film by David Ox, uploaded to his YouTube channel Stormwater in 2009. Plot in a nutshell is that some kids get kidnapped by a man posing as an ice cream man, and the rest of the short revolves around them trying to escape, and it has a fairly gory ending. I don't really have much else to say about this one, but I do really like the animation style that's being put forward, especially when you consider this was, again, a first-year student film. Ian Miller is an animator on YouTube who has been posting animations since 2009. By far his most popular work, at least on YouTube, is an animation titled Cheap Joke, and just by looking at it you can really tell how good he is at making characters move around really
grotesquely. His YouTube channel serves as a portfolio for his fucked up and weird animations, allowing him to work for pretty prestigious TV shows such as Super Jail and Metalocalypse for Adult Swim. KUYANG DAYAK is a video uploaded to YouTube in 2011 by Chebonk182. It features whatever this thing is. The name KUYANG DAYAK refers to the mythical creature from Southeast Asian folklore, Krasu, or Kuyang as it's called in Indonesia. And it's this female spirit that manifests itself as a woman with her organs hanging out. Apparently, according to a random fucking Reddit thread I found, the video is of Mumtaz Begum, a Pakistani fortune teller and performance artist who has this act where she presents herself as this weird fox-human hybrid by sitting in a mattress and sticking her head out. I don't really see the similarities, but it's fully possible that the video was just someone doing the same idea. I don't think Chebonk82 is the original creator of the footage and is simply a re-uploader, but I also wouldn't even know where to begin to find the origin. No Through Road is a short found footage film uploaded to YouTube in 2009. It starts by saying that a month earlier, 4 British teenagers, all apparently 17 years old, were reported missing by their families. 2 days later, their bodies were found at a farm 10 miles out from their hometown in the car they were driving around. The rest of the video is footage from the boys' camcorder that was found in their car. They're driving around, and shortly into the video, it becomes apparent that they're lost. They then come across Broomhall Farm, the same farm that was mentioned to be where their bodies were found at the beginning of the video. They drive in, despite it being private property, and quickly realize they're lost in the middle of nowhere. Then one of the boys gets out of the car, sees some strange, unnamed off-screen thing, and panicking, gets back in the car and tells them to drive away quickly. They try to drive away, but they begin to realize that they've been driving in circles, even when they drive in a straight line. They then encounter this strange figure that slowly gets closer to them and ends with them being beaten to death with their own camera, it looks like. No Through Roads gained a lot of traction, being one of the first found footage horror videos on YouTube, and spawned 3 sequels. DJ Def Joey is a content creator who joined YouTube in 2008, and he's a bit different. As the name might suggest, he's a DJ who is deaf, and apparently that's what his profession has been since 1995. His content revolves around vlogging, and he, for the most part, talks, or I guess signals, about everyday stuff. You know, complaining about IRS scammers, the holidays, politics, and of course stuff relating to DJing and being deaf. All of this makes him a pretty unique channel on YouTube, however, none of that is what he's known for. Sorting his videos by most popular, you'll find a video titled "My Dead Great Grandma's Coffin in My Own Backyard." Yeah, we're only in the 5th tier, and I think we're already a bit too deep. This video has Joey showing off how his great-grandma, who has been dead since 1945, is kept in a coffin in his backyard, even showing close-up shots because we really need to see that. By the end of the video, he even goes as far to repeatedly kiss her on the mouth. He even has other videos of him dressing his great-grandma, as well as showing off his great-grandpa's skull. Now, I want to tell you this is fake, and it probably is, given that it's still allowed to be up on YouTube, despite being basically necrophilia, but I couldn't find any concrete evidence that it is fake. Still, it's my personal belief that the body is some kind of prop that he's using to troll YouTube. But hey, anything's possible. This video is a re-upload of a clip from Tim and Eric's awesome show Great Job. In it, musician David Liebhart sings a song with this weird ventriloquist puppet named Jason. The song is about how the Corinians, a fictional race of aliens, say salam when they say hello and goodbye. Not entirely sure why this is even here, as it's just a Tim and Eric clip. Arabic YouTube is an entry I was initially a bit confused about going into this tier. Like, Arabic YouTube? Isn't that just people who speak Arabic that make YouTube videos? Well, searching for it led me to a video by Mudahar, where he goes down this rabbit hole relating to a certain Arabic phrase that you could type in at one point that translates to something about a woman claiming to be the Virgin Mary, and it would give you weird videos in an extremely similar manner to full stop punctuation. In fact, I don't really have anything to say about this one that I haven't already said about full stop punctuation, so moving on, I guess. TROLLSTATION is a British YouTube channel that specializes in pranks and social experiments pulled in public, and basically they're yet another prank channel that's infamous for taking things a bit too far. It's a network of sorts, kind of like Machinima, except for people who harass people in public. Some of their most popular videos include fake soldiers, fake periods, and coughing up fake blood while smoking. They've come under a couple of controversies too. In 2014, they caused a pitch invasion prank, meaning that they dressed up as soccer players and ran onto the field during a professional soccer game, disrupting the game and generally causing chaos, which landed them a hefty fine and a ban from attending soccer games for the next 4 years. In 2015, they were jailed for about 4 to 5 months for staging an art heist at the National Portrait Gallery, which caused a stampede to occur, and the court even called it a terrorist attack. It's yet another example of prank YouTubers being fucking idiots. Look at the Monkey is a video uploaded to YouTube by a channel named Dapper Cat. According to the description, it's a student film animated by Thomas Hicks with music by Aaron Lampert. I have no idea how to describe this one besides by showing it to you. Roleplay accounts are just what they sound like. YouTube accounts where people will roleplay as whatever well-known real-life person or established fictional character they wish in the YouTube comment section, usually by setting their profile picture and name to the corresponding character. Sometimes the poster will actually be in character, posting something that's on topic that the character might say. Or sometimes they won't be in character, making everyone in the replies make jokes about the character actually saying that thing. And then of course, sometimes people will just have massive reply chains role-playing out scenes, I guess. It's a bit of a lost art though, as I don't really see this kind of stuff anymore in the comment sections of YouTube. What a shame. Other Lily is a short horror animation created by David Romero and uploaded on the Let's Read YouTube channel in 2017. It starts out with a mother and her daughter, or maybe an older sister and a younger sister, going to sleep, and she immediately encounters sleep paralysis. In their dreams, both of them encounter things that are downright terrifying. However, as they might find out, those dreams might be more real than they seem. It's a really good short film and I'd recommend checking it out. North Fur is a YouTube channel that uploads videos featuring these sculpted face masks they make that make the user look like an anthropomorphic animal. The videos are infamous for being rather far into the uncanny valley. This ain't your mama's fursuit. You might recognize the dolphin one, as it has popular use as a weird, cursed video like you'd find by searching full stop punctuation. However, the channel also has tons more of these beyond the dolphin one, basically any animal you can think of, and all of them are weirdly realistic. They even have a website where you can buy the prosthetics, so you too can look like a character off the set of Cats. What the fuck is this? Original Spider Worm is a video uploaded by YouTube user BaskWith2 and is really gross. Basically what's happening is that this spider died by being hit with bug spray, and out came this giant worm parasite that looks like a piece of spaghetti coming out of its body. The uploader waits for like almost a whole minute watching it writhe around, and then eventually hits it with more bug spray. It's honestly impressive how much worm can fit in that spider. BREEDLOVE was a teenage vlogger who was active on YouTube around 2010 and 2011. His main channel, Our Advice for You, focused around relationship advice, which is also what his second channel, BREEDLOVE TV, would focus on. His videos were decently popular, however in December of 2011, he released a 2-part video titled This Is My Story on his third YouTube channel, simply titled BREEDLOVE. In these videos he would reveal with note cards that he had been diagnosed with a life-threatening heart condition at a young age, and had cheated death 3 times. And about 2 weeks after the videos were uploaded, he died of cardiac arrest on Christmas Day 2011. The story was covered by several media outlets and inspired several charities and dedications. The Pier is another short animated student film released on YouTube in 2007 by Jason Bennett, this one being 3D animated rather than 2D. It features a fisherman who's being stalked by this weird creature. The creature puts a fake fish into the water, which begins to destroy his stomach from the inside, letting the creature take him and eat him, and that's pretty much it, not much else to say. RX Bumble is the name of a 3D animated music video for, well, a song called Bumble by a musician named RX. Despite releasing in 2014, it's stylized to seem like some primitive CG animation from the 1990s, and also has oddly sexual tones. I don't think there's much to this one, it's just a collection of random shit that the animator thought was funny, which to be fair, it is pretty funny. I've been seeing clips from this video for years in the form of GIFs.
You ever heard of number stations? Basically, they're these strange radio stations that will broadcast coded messages in the form of numbers, letters, and other auditory symbols. These would normally be transmitted over computer-generated voices over and over again, repeatedly, basically forever. These were birthed around the 1950s and saw major use in the Cold War for purposes related to espionage or otherwise gathering intelligence. The idea being that the numbers and letters said would actually be code for different things that only Allied spies could decipher. Number stations were not encrypted, meaning that any average Joe can tune into them and listen to the indecipherable garbage you hear from them, so long as you choose one that's still active today, which a lot of them are. The reason I'm explaining all of this to you is because the next entry, 101 The Swedish Rhapsody, is a recording of an infamous Polish number station nicknamed, well, the Swedish Rhapsody. Used by the Polish, and by extension Soviet, government, it consisted of a series of strange buzzing sounds interspersed with a melody that listeners thought sounded like a traditional Swedish folk tune, which is where it earned the nickname. It's not hard to understand why this is here in the Iceberg. I mean, just listening to it is pretty creepy. I get this is used to spy on Western Europe and stuff like that, but what's it so creepy for? The channel is uploaded on the Koday archive, has many other recordings of number stations, many of them being quite mysterious due to never having official explanations for their existence. It's quite the interesting rabbit hole to go down. You know, as we go down, I'm noticing a trend of these becoming more and more self-explanatory. Bug Buried in Guy's Ear is a video of a bug buried in a guy's ear, uploaded in 2014 by Jacob Stanfield. It seems like it takes place at maybe a bar, and the guy is lying on the ground talking about how he can literally hear a bug flying around in there. Then they grab some tweezers and pull the thing, which turns out to be this giant moth out of his ear canal. By the end of the video, the moth is just kind of sitting there, acting like he didn't do anything. Dora No More is a video that might just have one of my least favorite art styles ever. Created by the Stringini brothers, it features various ways Dora the Explorer has died over her years of exploring. Kind of functions as an edgier, more grotesque version of Dumb Ways to Die, although this actually predates that by about a year. I'm sorry, but I can't overstate how fucking ugly this looks, although I assume that's probably the point of the art style. Wishing death on babies' cartoon characters was just kind of a part of internet humor in the early 2010s. The Stringini brothers are also known for other animations on their channel, like the Mario one. They're also known for the Living with Wario series uploaded on a channel called Game & Wario that has no relation to the actual game called that. You might know this series from the Wario hallway thing, you know, the one where he says Wario Land 4 is his greatest achievement. I honestly don't know why I thought this was an actual commercial. Charles Ross, known on YouTube as Ross Creations or more recently Vlog Creations, is a YouTube prankster and Florida man who has been criticized for harassing people and has even been contacted by police several times while filming pranks in a similar manner to TROLLSTATIon. According to Jacksonville.com, Ross has been arrested upwards of 6 times while recording videos. The first time was when he was 18 and he filmed himself doing a backflip over 2 police officers, resulting in him immediately getting tackled and cuffed. Another time, he was arrested for impersonating a police officer and giving out parking tickets to random people. Another time, he was also arrested for going up to random people in a movie theater and giving them wedgies. There was also another time where he allegedly removed stop signs from intersections that he thought were unnecessary, resulting in him, once again, being arrested and then starting a GoFundMe for legal bills. All in all, Ross Creations is another prank YouTuber who does dumb shit and expects there to be no repercussions. Real-life LEGO minifig cosplay is a video uploaded by Adam Savage's Tested, where he interviews Frank Ippolito, a special effects artist, about this realistic LEGO figure mask. It's so weird because it's one of those gross cartoon characters in real life things that you'd see in Google Images, but this one is like actually in real life. The mask even comes with hands that are shaped like Lego Man hands, but they have fingernails. Ugh. Frank Ippolito kind of specializes in stuff like this, and he's even a professional prop maker for Hollywood films like Pirates of the Caribbean and Chronicles of Narnia. I Am Your Grandma is a 1-minute long video uploaded by Jillian Mayer in 2011. It's supposed to be an autobiographical video diary that is meant to be sort of a time capsule for her future grandchildren. In the video, she sings to them in a variety of costumes, and
Oh, hey, that's where that baby gif is from. Beyond this video, Jillian Mayer is a visual performance artist with art that has been displayed at galleries and museums, and has released other short films besides I Am Your Grandma, like #Postmodern and Kaiju Bunraku, as well as working on feature-length anthology film Omniboat: A Fastboat Fantasia. Mr. Nosybonk is a character from the obscure 1970s/80s BBC children's cartoon show Jigsaw. He's possibly the most widely known aspect of the show, and that is wholly because of his nightmarish appearance. I mean, just fucking look at him. What were British people on? Mr. Nosybonk was intended to be nothing more than a comic relief character, as after all, I really doubt they'd intentionally put nightmare fuel in an educational children's show like that. This character rather expectedly traumatized several little British children, leading there to be a whole host of various rumors, theories, parodies, and creepypastas all over YouTube. On BBC's very own Screen Wipe, host Charlie Booker explains how Mr. Nosybonk used to give him nightmares as a kid.
Mr. Nosybonk was a sort of leering death-masked figure who was supposed to be gently amusing but wound up haunting my dreams because he struck me as precisely the sort of figure who'd sneak into a stranger's bedroom in the dead of night and knife you, 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 and knife.
Playing Nosybonk in this skit is Stuart Ashens, a British content creator who gained popularity in 2008 with the release of his Nosybonk Return series, which portrays the character as a sick and twisted, maniacal killer. All of these things together have led to creepypastas to eclipse the popularity of the actual original show, since the only people that would remember Jigsaw from their childhood are like 30 to 40 years old. It's because of this that many people believe that Nosybonk isn't even a real children's show character and is a creepypasta original character like Slenderman or Jeff the Killer or something. Which honestly is fair, because, like, what the fuck? Watcher is a thriller web series created by Andrew J. Neese, with the first video, 911 Call 5311, Record 1, coming out in, well, 2011. It features footage of a strange man who's just standing there, staring at Andrew. He calls 911 and asks about his situation, although they don't really seem to do anything. This video would go on to become a series, where Andrew chronicles how he and his girlfriend Rebecca have been stalked by this guy over the following months, with the police never actually coming. Over the course of the series, they're slowly driven insane by paranoia and madness. It's obviously not real. Andrew Neese is a Hollywood stunt actor who has acted in several MCU films like Spider-Man Homecoming and Shang-Chi, and apparently was the mocap actor for Temple Run. Huh. He also released a trailer for the series, which doesn't really seem like something he'd do for a series about how he's being aggressively stalked to the point of hysteria. Either way, it was pretty creepy and did fool a lot of people. Maru Osa is a Japanese producer of breakcore, noisecore, or whatever you want to call it, music. He's quite prolific, possibly being one of the progenitors, or at least someone who popularized this style of music, being very loud and abrasive sounding. What this Iceberg details specifically is his utterly insane music videos that have been re-uploaded to YouTube. Just by looking at it, you can tell what I'm talking about. It's a lot, but it's also nothing more than a music video. A music video that I might add is quite fitting for the kind of music that Maru Osa produces. Cool Guy Has Chill Day is a video uploaded by Lonely Boy Industries in 2009. It features the eponymous Cool Guy as he walks around town dancing to an original song, and that's pretty much it. There's a sequel, Cool Guy 2 Enter the Funk, with a new, just as cool guy named Mr. Funk, who does the same thing until he's shot and buried by the original Cool Guy. Lastly, there was Cool Guy 2.5, the Halloween special that took a more horror-based approach to the series. Oddly enough, Cool Guy Has a Chill Day has a weirdly large fanbase, having a Fuck Yeah It's Cool Guy blog on Tumblr, and it becoming a minor SoundCloud meme in the mid-2010s. Despite the original video not reaching the stardom that its contemporaries never reached, it still has that excellent early YouTube charm, so I can see why it had a cult following for a bit. This entry refers to an advertisement produced for Two Horses, a tattoo and hair boutique in Montreal, Canada. Directed by Doug Garth Williams of Little Baby Ice Cream's fame, the short features a farmer going to his horse stable only to find out his horses are gone, and in their place are two young women. They turn around, revealing themselves to have these strange horse faces that look like something straight out of North Fur, and then they start making these funny noises. And that's pretty much it. It's basically like Little Baby's Ice Cream's more obscure cousin. I was so happy when I found out what this entry is referring to. Terrible Mall Commercial is an upload of a local advertisement for East Hill Mall, a shopping center in St. Joseph, Missouri. It's a back-to-school commercial, and it's just so ridiculously bad. It feels like they didn't even tell the actors what to do, as everything feels very disconnected from itself. Hell, it's pretty clear they didn't even manage to get enough footage to fill out a 30-second time slot, since pretty much every clip is repeated at least once. I've even heard it called the room of commercials. It quickly went viral, gaining over 25 million views and even being featured on The Ellen Show. With all that being said, there's a very solid chance that this was made to be bad intentionally. Director Chris Fleck told Fox News that the whole time we pitched this idea, we said maybe it'll go viral, and it did. If you can entertain and get your message in, you've accomplished your goal. I just love that it's getting this much response. That's what commercials do, they get response. So yeah, I think the commercial was made intentionally poorly in order to go viral, and allow for more people to go to the mall, knowing it as the mall from the funny YouTube video. And of course it worked, because here I am, 8 years later, still talking about it. A Lamau, as you might guess from the title, is a 3D animated video of aliens dancing uploaded by Kecklepop in 2014, referencing the meme of the same name, and yeah, that's literally it. I don't have anything else to say about this one. The Ace Family phallic lollipop controversy refers to an incident in which Austin McBroom, owner of the 15 million subscriber YouTube channel Ace Family, came under fire thanks to a video in which he took his 5-year-old daughter to what seems to be a sex shop and bought her a lollipop that was shaped like a penis. Yeah, this obviously sparked a giant amount of controversy, not enough to take their kids away or take their channel down, or even lose anything really. Not for this anyway. But they were in hot water with general YouTube audiences for quite some time. A while later, they also got in trouble for similarly pedophilic reasons, with a clip shown of him smacking his daughter's ass. Now, the Ace family has a long and winding history of strange behavior, as a lot of family channels on YouTube happen to have, interestingly. And I could talk about all of this, but this Iceberg only mentions the lollipop thing, and I'm lazy, so just go watch one of the many video essays about this channel. Unwind with the Sweeties is an obscure public access show that first aired around 1991, and it's really fucking weird. It features a couple, apparently named Gus and Emma Schlisky, as they're both wearing face masks, green and yellow respectively, with the man having buck teeth. It's pretty poorly made, and a lot of people have even said it's extremely uncomfortable to watch and disturbing, which honestly, in my opinion, it's not that bad. I mean, I don't even think it's close to the strangest thing in this part of the Iceberg alone. The episode this entry is referring to specifically is one uploaded to YouTube where a man is reading a sexually suggestive magazine. When the screen fades to this older woman who's also in the same face mask as the wife, doing suggestive poses, moaning, and telling a story. Then it ends with the husband being scolded by his wife for being a pervert or whatever. Surprisingly, the series ran for over a decade before ending. Again, a couple clips have been posted on YouTube, but otherwise, the series remains today as lost media. Run for the QB is a YouTube channel who joined in 2009, though he wouldn't start uploading until 2011, starting with parodies of those pronunciation guides you'd see all over YouTube. His gimmick being that he would pronounce things wrong on purpose. He would slowly stop doing these pronunciation guide parodies, shifting towards a couple different things. Sometimes it would be covers of popular songs, other times it would be candy and food reviews, and sometimes it would be toy reviews. On all of these videos, Run for the Cube would put on the strangest voice imaginable, pronouncing virtually every single word wrong, and sometimes saying them twice for no reason. His most popular video was Jelly Billy Pet Rat Gummy Candy Review, or as he would say it, G-Li B-Li Pete Rat Gumai Kandai.
G-Li B-Li Pete Rat Gumai Kandai.
Reason being that it was featured on a video by H3H3 Productions. I just think it's funny that he started out making pronunciation guide parody videos, and then proceeded to speak 100% accurately to those parodies. It's dedication for sure. The strangest video ever is, relatively speaking, not that strange. It's a series of humorous and bizarre animated GIFs, and I'll just cut to the chase. It's literally just a stolen video from Syriac, who I've already covered back in Tier 3. Straight up stealing people's videos, even if the original uploader literally had a channel they uploaded it to, was a ridiculously prevalent part of early YouTube culture, which is a part that most people like to forget about, because you can't really romanticize that.
Vitaly Zdrovetsky, better known on YouTube as Vitaly ZDTV, is a content creator with over 10 million subscribers and is yet another prank channel on Tier 5 that is infamous for his run-ins with the police. His first job was being a porn star, before later becoming a prank YouTuber. In 2012, he filmed a video called Russian Hitman Prank, where he went up to random people in the street and handed them a briefcase, telling them that they had 60 seconds to get away from him before it blew up. He got arrested for, well, let you take a wild guess. He faced a maximum of 15 years in prison, but got a really good defense attorney and the case was dismissed. After this incident, Vitaly filmed a video where he spat on the car of a police officer, and yeah. Later after that, he made a video where he went into a bull cage wearing a completely red outfit with red face paint for some reason, and he broke his jaw and had to go to the hospital. In 2014, he and his friend FusiTube were arrested for running on field during the FIFA World Cup Finals in Brazil. After a bit of a hiatus, in 2016 he returned to YouTube where he was arrested for trespassing when climbing up the Hollywood sign as part of a video where he put a flag that said "I'm back" on top of it. A month later, he was arrested for running on the court during Game 4 at the NBA Finals, and in 2017 he was once again arrested for running on field at a sports stadium, this time during the MLB World Series. After receiving a ban from all major sporting events, it seems his days of running on field had come to an end. However, in 2019, Vitaly manipulated his girlfriend into running on field at the Champions League in Madrid, saying that he would break up with her if she didn't do it, and he even had his mother do the same thing. In 2020, Vitaly was arrested in Egypt for trying to climb the Great Pyramids of Giza, leading him to spend 5 days in jail. Later that year, he was arrested and charged with aggravated battery in Miami when he tackled a female jogger and beat her up for really no good reason whatsoever. Like, he just did it and got arrested. Of course, he had that really good attorney, so he spent virtually no time in jail for this. And 2 years later, quite recently in fact, he ran on the field during the World Cup in Qatar. And now, just 5 days ago as of writing this script, he's back on YouTube uploading prank videos once again. All in all, Vitaly seems like the pioneer of the prankster genre of YouTube, but at the same time, he's also one of the most insane and probably immoral ones too. And that's it for part 2 of Tier 5 of the massive YouTube Iceberg. In the last video, I thanked you all for getting me to 500 subscribers, and now I'm almost at 700. And my last video performed like twice as good as the video before it, which is just insane to me. Welcome, new subscribers, all 200 of you, and I hope you're enjoying the descent into madness that is the massive YouTube Iceberg. Again, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you'd like to monetarily support the channel, I have a Ko-fi link in the description. This is all I'm doing for now. Later on, I might start up a Patreon if there's enough interest. Maybe Patreon supporters can get videos like a day or two early, I guess. I haven't thought that far yet, though, so this is all I got. Not much else to update on, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the final part of Tier 5. See ya.